I've gone incognito and it's fine. That's what I did. I wasn't incognito last time, so I don't know if that's helped in any way. Does that help?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not a guruji.
You know when you say I don't. You know when you say I don't know to your parents, you're super thought.
You're not allowed to say you don't know the answer.
Well, not in Indian community, no. But now everything is pro. If you don't know, it's fine. It is fine. Yeah.
No, but શું નથી ખબર કેમ પણ કેમ તને નથી ખબર? But my dad's favorite is Kem.
Yeah.
Kem? Fucking does my mom's head in, bro. એટલે Kem? Sometimes we sing that song to him. तो हमारे आपके सवाल के what's the song? सवाल का जवाब नहीं है or something like that, bro.
Yeah, it's from, was it Mene
I think so. Yeah. That's basically because, bro, dad always has questions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Always, man. Always.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Bruvcast. I'm Raj.
I'm Mick.
This is the episode that we've been trying to record for a while, but we just haven't got around to it because I don't even know. I don't even have an excuse. I just think we haven't got around to it. So it's coincidental that we didn't get around to it because we have two pieces of listener feedback which are related in some ways. So should we get into it?
Yeah, man. Should we read it? Are you going to read it out?
Yeah, do you want to read it out?
No, you read it out. I'm going to...
Why, bro? Why?
Because I've not done my homework, innit? So this is going to be like, I'm just going to, reacquaint myself with today's topic.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew that that's why I didn't even bother giving you a refresh. You know, sometimes pre-game I give you a heads up saying, oh yeah, bro, by the way, this is what we're covering. I didn't do it because I was like, let's see. Obviously, man's not
done, innit?
It's all right though, man. I think it's okay. I think we want face value, but let's see. Okay. So this is a listener question that has come in, question anonymous on our anonymous forum. A disclaimer here that we're going to put a disclaimer in this episode, as we do with most of our episodes, that we are not experts. We are not here in any position to provide professional advice on any kind of mental, physical health or otherwise. Please seek that if you are in need of it. This is purely for entertainment purposes. But I just want to kind of give that disclaimer before I get into this because it is a heavier topic than what we are used to. But again, we are all about sharing the struggle. So, okay, so this is it, bro. Yeah. So it came in and said, any advice, please? I'm having serious issues with my partner. We mainly argue about the behavior of our children, but also everything else. If the kids do anything wrong, after the kids get told off, I'm in the firing line for why, when, how, etc. I'm contemplating divorce as I'm exhausted at the situation, but I know this will impact the kids and our financial situation. On the outside, we look like the perfect family. Signed anonymous. P.S. I love your show. It's like therapy for me hearing your struggles and sharing the laughs. Smiley face. So thank you for the message.
This is not a hard topic at all. Oh shit. Maybe I should have prepared. No. Go on, Raj.
All right, let's break it down. Firstly, my first reaction to this, right, was I was trying to figure out, is this, and maybe it makes a difference, but maybe it doesn't. Is this a guy or a girl that's sending this message, right? Because when I first read it, I thought it was a dude, and then I showed it to Gaga, and she's like, "No, that's definitely a woman, right?" But then I think when you first read it, you were like, "It's definitely a woman, right?"
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
So I don't know what prompted me to think it was a guy, but the fact of the matter is some serious issues. I guess the first, when we can do it like the onion approach, right? We take one layer at a time.
Fine. What made you think it was I know you said you don't know, but there must be something. jogs your memory after you read it out? What makes you think it's a guy?
Mainly argue about the behavior of our children, but also everything else. If the kids do anything wrong after the kids get told off, I'm in the final. I guess that bit made me a little bit think that it could be a guy, but then I don't know, bro. It just depends, right? Like patriarchal society, that is something is more likely to be said by a woman, especially in an Indian household, right? Even if it's a modern Indian household, just because the patriarchy is something that we are still trying to shake off. But I read it as that because at least in my household, bro, yeah, my guy gets smart as much as Guggen's does. At least I like to think so. Obviously, there's things that she does all the time and constantly, and we can definitely, I definitely want to get into some of that from my side. But that's one of the reasons why I read it as a guy. But then Guggen was like, "It's got a smiley face at the end of it."
No, simple, man, isn't it? Don't
Yeah,
overthink
bro.
it.
She was
It's
like, "It's got a
true, isn't it?
smiley face," and I was like, "What's that?" I send don't you send smiley faces?
Yeah, bro. When I want to be super respectful and super polite because I am asking for something for sure. No, but yeah, smiley face, man.
What about kiss?
It's
What
true.
about kiss? You put
Nah, man. I didn't send my wife a kiss on emails.
no, but some people do. Some guys do that. They put like a text message in it. I think Mittel does. Mittel does, bro. He does, right? Or is it H?
That's because he loves us. That's because he loves us, isn't it?
True.
No, H does more than that.
H sends you fucking snaps, bro.
In his towel. No, I think you know what, valid point actually, because most of the time, but that's the thing. If you were looking at it from a like traditional household, you have to say when kids do something wrong, it's always the mum that's at fault, isn't it? Because she's the one who's spending.
She's the one that's spending the most time with them. So
yeah, but I thought it was a woman because again, I've got no experience in this, but
you're married, bro. You got married over a decade of marriage, bro.
Let me. That means nothing.
Experience. I'm only. I'm 3 years. We had our 3-year anniversary, bro. Just yesterday.
Happy anniversary,
bro. I'm in toddler phase, bro. You're graduating, you're doing your SATs.
SATs
11 plus, isn't it?
11 plus. I just thought it was because I thought it was a woman because she, like, the thought and the detail. If we were to get divorced, it will impact the kids. It will impact our financial situation.
Smart brain.
The detail. It's a smart brain. I'm not saying men don't think about that, but men are more likely to make knee-jerk reactions. This ain't working for me. No, I need to get divorced. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Whatever else it is, it's not worth living this, basically. Whereas a woman would stay in a marriage more. I think a woman will stay in a marriage longer to make things work because of the impact it will have
on the kids.
On the kids and everything else around them as well, right?
Well, you think
they're stronger. I think they're more resilient to do that as well.
So what you're saying, if it was a dude, he'll peace out much more. Tolerance is less.
Yeah, I think tolerance is less. Okay. I think the tolerance is less.
Listen,
think about it. Yeah, men and this is from experience, right? Like when kids. They can test your patience, right? Any parent, and even the most perfect, loving parent, kids can test your patience because you're dealing with so much, yeah? But who's got more patience? If you were going to put it down to gender, who's got more patience when it comes to kids? I think.
I don't know, man. I don't know, bro.
Because you're the other side, isn't it? You think you got more patience?
It's not. I think I've got more patience, but I mean, there's times where I look at going, I don't know how she's continuing. There's food everywhere, food on the floor. How has she not lost her rag? Well, I would have lost it time ago. But then there's times where she does, and I step in. So I don't know if it's that clear cut, man. I think you can have differences, but
then let me put it this way, though. Yeah, there's caveats to that, right? Because she'll be more entitled to lose her rag or get frustrated. Yeah, whether she shows it or not, any mother would. Yeah, because actually, when the kid wants something, where is he or she gonna go most likely? Do you understand what I mean? Like food. Changing. I'm not saying you don't do. Do you understand what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying.
But anyway, going back, that's why I thought, that's what it was. I mean, again, I'm not experienced in this shit, bro. Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, I'm fucking wrong. Yeah, that's more. But that's what I looked at the detail. Women are more detail orientated. They look at a few steps ahead.
They
I'm not
all
saying men aren't
consider
like
all
that.
the implications. I think, I mean, that's a very astute observation, bro. I
I've
was
got a
just,
PhD in
bro. You ain't got no PhD in anything, bro. Gun mining, that's what your PhD is in.
Yeah, no, fair play.
All right, so should we take it one layer at a time, and
that's one skin,
just see where we end up.
Go on, next
all right,
one.
Serious issues with my partner. Okay, so we mainly argue about the behavior of our children, but also everything else. But bruv, okay, to me, when the moment you're acknowledging that there's an issue, it has passed some kind of threshold, right? Everyone fucking argues, bruv. But the way this is written, there's probably just kind of incessant, and it's non-stop. Again, I'm just all we have to look at is what we're seeing here. So we mainly argue about the behavior of our children, but also everything else. But on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, how many arguments are you having, man?
Oh man, untold amounts. Untold. About everything and anything. Do
you find that you have more arguments when you're spending more time together?
Yeah, but then, do you know what? I think the arguments are there when the kids. I think we argue more maybe when the kids are around.
Oh, really?
Does that make sense?
Yeah. There's no one to diffuse it.
There's stakes are higher at the end of the day, right? As in, I'm not saying in front of the kids, but I'm just saying we'll have little tiffs or bicker about something, yeah, because you're doing that much more.
Yeah.
So I've had 3 days now, yeah. So actually, there's been 3 days where the kids haven't been here, not one.
Oh shit!
Not one, yeah, because there's less to do. We're not rushing from taking one kid to, and that means if we haven't got the kids around us, that means we're not doing the drop-offs and pickups and all that. So that means there's less instruction that I can mess up that causes an argument. Do you? It's facts, isn't it? At the end of the day,
it's facts, man. It's facts.
So there you go. Anyway, go on. There's my answer. What about you? Like, let me ask you a question. Like,
I think it varies, bro, because I feel like there are times when if we're not, like, if we're both indoors, we haven't gone out, we haven't done anything, we haven't kind of had a change of scenery, that gives you like cabin fever. And then, like, and it's definitely one of those situations if one of you is pissed off about something but doesn't say it and just kind of like waits for it to kind of like, and it might be like, oh, it's not a big deal, just get over it. So maybe you don't say anything, but then you might kind of, your behavior actually says something differently, right? That does happen. That continues to happen, and that's definitely something that I'm working on, right? Like, from our perspective. But there are times when it's difficult because what is argument? Like, argument is, are you having a row? Those aren't as common. Right, an argument is a tiff, right? Oh yeah, there's a disagreement about something, normally something that you haven't followed instructions on, you're not listening, or you're absent-minded, which is, I admit, I don't. And, like I said in the last week's episode, I get tunnel vision, right? But I see that's kind of you and your partner just kind of hopefully improving each other and becoming better partners, because you can, to me, I'm taking that as like, I need to be more present. I need to, give you my full attention, or give baby my full attention. But then there's like arguments and like highly emotional things. Those are different, but they all need to happen as well. You can't have, if those are not happening, then you're not expressing. Like, there's no way, bro. Like, the point that it says here, everyone's on the outside, we look like a perfect family. What the fuck is a perfect family? There's no such thing. Yeah. There's no such thing as a perfect family. And I don't know. Exactly. I think all of us put pressure on ourselves, right? Because especially in our demographic, our age group, you're looking at others and you're like, well, okay, well, these guys look like they're just house on fire. They've got their shit together. They're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, for me personally, I've always looked at you and Nish because you guys have been married for so long. So I'm like, okay, well, that's what I'm kind of. That's the example that you guys. I'm following in it.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, bro, like it's a misconception, isn't it? Because you're seeing what you want to, what you're shown, and what you
you're
see,
seeing what you're
right,
shown, bro, which is a very good point.
At the same time, in these four walls, yeah, do you know what I mean? In it, where if you were in this dynamic and I was having the argument that would have normally would be so much smaller, than it probably would be if you were removed from it. It's facts at the end of the day, right? Because you throw someone else into that dynamic, your whole mood, the way you're going to say it, you're conscious of how you come across. It's just natural that's that in it, yeah, because it is what it is at the end of the day. Because you don't want to be perceived in a way where, like, which is not the ordinary of what you understand, innit? You don't want Raj to leave the house thinking, "Oh, I've never seen Mick like that before." Just, and I'm not saying that that's the case, but as in there are, bro. At the end of the day, man, you're only gonna be your true self when you're annoyed. Yeah. Well, you see my true self when I'm annoyed, and we see that's just because of the. Do you understand what I mean? But it's different. It's different when you're with your partner at the end of the day, isn't it?
When you're with your partner, man.
So and I guess when I'm going to say she, yeah, when she said in that message where, well, I should say they, actually no, when they said in that message, yeah, that they look like the perfect family, yeah, I know I'm skipping ahead, but I'm just, should I go back? I just feel like saying
I brought it
anyway,
up, it's my fault, but let's just stay with it, let's roll with it.
It's because in their eyes, it's like, well, actually, we're like chalk when we're at home, and we're like cheese when we're out, basically, at the end of the day, right? It's just that far apart, and that's why it's noticeable. They're not saying basically that, it might be close, because they're all happy families, shirts all ironed, buttoned up, and we're just, getting along nicely because we're outside, and it's changed the dynamic, and you're out as well, isn't it? You know what? When you're in the presence with your family, when you've had an argument and you're going somewhere, and then you automatically come out the car and you see the first couple to come out the car, and you get excited. Someone else's energy, positive energy, can have that.
Yeah. And it's true. I mean, you've got if you had a pre-game jig, right? Like, for whatever it is, anything, bruv, yeah. Sometimes all you need is, let's just go to this thing, whatever it is, and then, bruv, when you get back in the car, if it's cash, oh wow, that was like, it's healed.
You know why? Because you don't have to spend every waking minute of that time with each other, and that's how giving you some perspective.
Like, calm down.
You've taken your mind, you've calmed yourself down. Everyone else, your boys or whoever you're spending that time with at that function or whatever, had, just made you to the point where you diffuse straight away. You're asking your wife, "Oh, what can I get you to drink?
Must go in there."
Do you know what I mean? Get your food. So take the kids to the toilet. It just changes the dynamic, man. But I think I'll be. How many people turn up to have a different relationship in the house, and then when they turn up to functions, it is
everyone,
what it is, isn't it? Where
everyone does.
Everyone. Yeah,
I don't.
Everyone, like an hour before that, if you'd turn back the clocks an hour back, someone's running around the house. You're not helping with the kids. They're not even ready. Look, their hair's not even done. I have to do everything. This is everything, and I'm telling you this from experience. This is what I hear. Yeah, and I'm like, you just get ready, but because that's the way man just gets ready. Yeah, and then when I'm done, that's when I'll be like, hey, get your shoes on. Let's go, man. We're late.
How long do you take in the shower? Oh my god, you haven't done a poo yet.
Yeah. It stinks in here, man. To get ready in it. And then as soon as you're at the place, it's like you had the chilled journey, chilled time getting ready. Your kids are cash, little one hasn't pissed herself. Yeah, so it's but yeah, I don't know, man. What I'm trying to say to this person as well, yeah, because we don't know how severe this is, yeah, because at the same time we can't just like write it off and say it's not that bad because everyone goes through it, yeah, because they're reaching out.
No, that's definitely not my intention.
Yeah, is the fact that it happens. It is what it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, it just depends. Sometimes, you just mentioned if you have a row or if you have an argument, even if you're having little arguments, but they're constant throughout the day, they just start to exhaust you.
Tiring, bruv. But that's tiring, because there's an underlying thing. Majority of the time, there's something else that's festering, or something else that hasn't been discussed, and then maybe it doesn't come out that day, but it comes out later on. And then you're just like, well, why didn't you say this earlier? Or your partner's like, well, why didn't you tell me earlier? And
yeah,
bro,
true.
sometimes you just don't want to. Sometimes you're just like, I don't want to bring this up. I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to talk about feelings. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to be vulnerable because it takes up emotional energy. For me, it does, bro. Yeah. But you have to do it, right? There's no two ways about it. You need to express yourselves, right? But let's go back to this thing, right?
Yeah, let's go back.
If the kids do anything wrong, after the kids get told off, I'm in the firing line for why, when, how. Bruv, that's nah, man. The blame game.
Yeah. You're both responsible.
You're both fucking responsible for the kids. They're your kids.
Yeah.
That's I don't know, man.
But let me ask you a question. Yeah. As in, I'm going to put myself out there. There's been times, yeah. So let's go back to my OCD. If the house is, maybe I'm happy right now because the kids are here to mess up the house, isn't it? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. You do have, but let's just have a
twinkle in your eye, bro.
But let's just say that's the case, yeah. And it's like, well, they don't get that from me, innit? Do you understand what I mean? Am I thinking that? Yeah, it's like, and then it's like, actually, well, rather than, and Marissa says, rather than saying that they get that from her, yeah, she's like, why don't you teach them how to just, pick stuff up? But then I'm like, I go too far with it. I'm like, hey, look, you didn't make your bed today, but it's okay. We'll go again tomorrow. I have to tread very carefully.
Become a general, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm bloody training in the military here. Exactly. And you're only going to win with 50%. Bro, I'm only winning with one, when it comes to that kind of stuff at the moment. Yeah, the other one, nah, man, she's not having it.
That's the younger one, isn't it?
So
the younger one don't give a fuck,
yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, she don't care. And then it's like, actually, so it is, and that took me a while to learn, actually, you know what? And growing up, seeing like, you know what, in the traditional Indian household, which I grew up in, yeah, it's like, if I ever did something wrong, yeah, there were digs at my mum. Do you understand? Like, oh, he's not doing this. So it's like, well, it's just natural thing. Yeah. So it's just actually, wait a minute, and it's like, actually, I think that comes down from there.
Yeah, so what you think is just inherited behaviors?
Yeah. You 100%. And whoever's taking the brunt of it, at the end of the day, you're right. It's not fair and it's not nice. And I think that's the thing in it, because you don't want to be. They are who they are. The kids are who they are in the environment that they were brought up in, innit? At the end of the day. No?
Yeah. It's nature and nurture. I mean, it's both, right? But it's
it's the way you're conditioned in your environment and how it is. It's stuff the way you do stuff in your household. Let me ask you right now, yeah? Do you see, it is early days, isn't it? You don't see those traits right now because I don't know, but how would you react to that?
What if I'm getting told, if I'm getting in the firing line for being told why did she do this?
Yeah.
I'll be like, well, she came from you as well, yeah? And you've been putting in more hours, actually.
And that's fine, isn't it? As in, like, not fine. As in, what I'm trying to say is, it's okay. They're gonna have traits from both parents, the good and the bad.
I mean, we're not the good and the bad. Perfect, yeah? I'm watching this show at the moment, New Amsterdam, bro. Yeah, if anyone has, if you have, bro, you should watch it on Netflix, man. It's pretty good. Anyway, Anupam Kher is in it, bro. It's pretty sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like a better version of ER, or Casualty, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, the episode that I was watching today was literally about that, right? Like, there's this story about a parent-child dynamic, and obviously Anupam Kher with his words of wisdom. Bro, I still see him as Pops from DDLJ, and he doesn't look like he's aged, bro. But like,
that guy's
he says, how can you expect your kids to be perfect? You're not perfect. You're, as a parent, you aren't perfect.
No.
So I don't know. I feel like there's some of that going on, but like, why, when, how, questions, interrogations, like that seems, if you're being hounded about something, why did this happen, or how is this the case? That's not an ideal.
It's not. And it's like, does that make the person who's being blamed? Yeah. How do they react to that? Do they talk it? Do they try to talk it through? Do they argue back? Do you understand what I mean? Isn't it? Like, because there's always two sides to everything as well. Yeah. But at the same time, someone might be taking it more than the other person's, then they're giving it. And also, you're right. If we're not perfect, but the thing is, the kids see us as that. They see it because they spend the most time around us, and we're the elders in the family. For them, they're role models up until they get, they find alternative role models that impacts their life.
Yeah.
And until then, you are, like basically like God's at the end of the day, like parents, isn't it? At the end of the day, right? As in they see you in the light of God's, isn't it? At the end of the day, that these are the people who holds them back. They're the ones who feed me. So whatever they're doing, because they're taking care of me, they're doing this. This is how it should be. But I don't know, man. It's just, and also, is one party also fantasizing at the fact that is divorce the best thing? Because every time I think of just being without this person, it actually makes me think it is the best thing, because it feels like freedom. It feels like actually this is the best.
I think that's the next layer, right? Because the next line is I'm contemplating divorce.
Because if you no matter how much you're arguing, no matter how, there's some couples out there who argue all the time, but it works for them. That's how they are. And divorce has never been contemplated because every time they think about it, no, I don't want to be without this person. Do you understand what I mean?
Even though they fucking drive you up the wall, but it's true. That's what love is. That's what love is, bro. But I've said this a number of times, maybe even on this podcast, but you've told me, bro, marriage is broken more times than it's fixed, because it's a fucking work in progress. It's a work in progress,
every
man.
level.
Like, you can't expect it to be smooth sailing all the time. You're two different people. You argue with your siblings, you argue with your friends, you argue with your parents. How are you not going to argue with the person that you spend probably the most amount of time with?
Yeah.
You're not the same person, man.
And also, even when things are fine and everything, we're trying to be so politically correct in our own marriage as well. Like, how you said, it's getting to the point where you can't even say, oh, she's like you because she's messy, but you don't mean it in a hurtful way, but it's just facts. But she's like me because she picks her nose, because I did that when I was a kid as well. Do you understand what I mean? Innit? It's just, so that it's one of those things. And also, no matter what, man, everyone says, I always feel that kids change the dynamic of your relationship in a marriage, man. It naturally happens because there's another person that needs more attention than you used to give each other.
And also, you're not giving each other the same amount of attention
you're not giving. So maybe these last 3 days, we've had nothing but to do. We've spent every hour in every, in the house, in every room together, basically, to the point where actually we're only talking about each other, and there's more. Your patience levels are actually staying very stable during the day, because you're not telling someone, okay, can you go do your homework now? Can you go for a bath now? Oh, can you come down ready for dinner? Or can you clean up this mess and then, brush your teeth? So that's all those things you don't have to do. Yeah. Obviously your patience levels are going to be so, like, the energy levels, your patience levels are going to be so, like, like, I don't know the word for it, but
abundant.
There's going to be an abundance. Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
I'm contemplating divorce as I'm exhausted at the situation, but I know this will impact the kids and our financial situation. See, the interesting thing here that this person hasn't mentioned is how our parents would interpret it, which is good. I'm glad that is not even a consideration here. Like, this is very kind of like, these are the pragmatic reasons. This is what the knock-on effects are. These are the most important things. It's going to impact the kids. It's going to impact our financial situation. Go on, bruv.
I was going to say something is, it's good that they didn't say that, because they're looking for the best solution for them.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're still a person.
An individual. Yeah.
They're an individual. It doesn't mean you don't care about your kids if you get
divorced.
It
doesn't.
Yeah.
No, 100. No, it doesn't, bro.
You're trying to get to a better environment, and a better level playing field for yourself, so you can take better care of them, because it's the way it is, And also, it's good that they didn't mention parents, because actually divorce doesn't mean, in life, like, we've been taught marriage is for life. Yeah, we hope so. But if it doesn't work out, you do get to do it again. You do get to start over again, innit? It's not the.
It's a dirty word, bruv. Apparently, dirty. It is a dirty word, bruv. Whenever you've heard divorce, like growing up, divorce, take it. Divorce. Oh, bro.
Do you know what? I think they're resilient people, man, who do that, who actually take the step to do that. Because actually, there's a few in our generation that I know that they've taken that step, and actually they're better co-parents and happier, and their kids are happier
But
as well because they created a better
this is
environment.
the thing, right? Because here it's like I know this will impact the kids. Well, how much is it impacting the kids right now? Like, what kind of environment are they in right now where there's this constant accusations being flung around, or like, line of questioning of like, why are they doing this? Well, this is your fault. But if there's that constantly, the kids will also be affected by that, won't they?
Yeah, because you're building an environment where when they go out, they don't want to come home. Do you understand what I mean? Innit? If that's who doesn't want to go back to their own house? If you're, do you understand what I mean?
This is right. We don't know, right? We don't know how bad it is. Is it like?
Yeah.
Is it innocent? Is it more malicious? Is it consistent? Is it like all we have is I mean, bro, but for someone to reach out, this is got bad. To reach out to a comedy podcast by two dudes, bro.
Yeah,
it's definitely like, man,
100%.
I need to. Which I mean, like, well, look, it's a fair point. It's a fair question.
One, it's brave.
It's brave, yeah,
and it's two, yeah.
I mean, I think it's rated to get in touch.
The person actually takes on advice, wants to hear people's advice at the end of the day, right? But at the same time, they're brave enough to. You before making a decision, whatever it is, whether you're purchasing something, whether you're about to make the next move. Some people think that you can actually make that decision. You can, and some can, yeah, without taking advice, just being quiet and with their own thoughts and just go with it, yeah. But there's others. I think it's smart, man. Like reaching out to any kind of, taking an ear and reaching out to your network.
Yeah,
doesn't matter, man.
I mean,
if you got a network, use it at the end of the day, right?
I mean, I can't make a big decision without consulting people. I can't, bro. I can't, man. I've seen you guys all do it. I can't do that shit, bro. When every single big moment in my life has been in consultation with the boys, bro, because I need someone to bounce ideas off or just talk me through it. Like,
100%. And I think that's the thing I've started to adopt from you, man, because like before I was like, no, I can do it. But now I'm thinking, actually, why not just use the network? Why not? You've got a network, it's not going to make you any worse off. It might give you more perspective, if anything.
Yeah. And I think in a situation like this, perspective is something that you need, right? Like, I think it's important to continue reaching out and understanding, to people that you're comfortable with, that you're going through this. Maybe it's people that know you, maybe it's your partner and your family, and just kind of say, look, this is the deal. This is what's going on. Because this, bro, you know what it is? The thing is the reason why we started this podcast was because we would have conversations about stuff. And I was in my mind thinking, oh man, maybe we're having some issues with our relationship. Maybe that this doesn't seem like it's natural. We're arguing about this, we're arguing about that. What's going on here? And it was only when I started talking with you, like, very openly about it, that it helped me understand that this is, and understand and learn that this is how it is. And you have to put in the work. You have to commit, right? It's a commitment. Marriage is a commitment. And if you haven't done that, or you're too scared to kind of break this perception of, this perfect family, it makes it harder, right? Because then who do you talk to? Who can you actually talk to in that situation and kind of like share what you're going through and get that additional perspective? Maybe you end up with the same thing, right? Maybe you end up with the same outcome, or the direction that you have. I feel like I don't know. Go on.
You're spot on, and it's like, when someone's, in your heart, when someone's checked out, because you got that feeling where, when you could have a million arguments with someone, your day one, like your person, your wife, your mate or whatever, and every single time it'll be cash in a few days or whatever. But there's times as well, we've all been in other relationships, etc., right, where you're like, you feel it that this one was different. join, this person's not
there's
coming
no
back.
there's no bounce back.
There's no bounce back, and you can feel it, and to the point where you feel like turning around and you're doing a bit more to convince that person. No, look, it'll be cash, yeah. And when you have to do that, you're like, you're on edge after that. Does that make sense? That
it's a crack.
I
There's a crack.
actually had to work a bit harder. There's a crack, and you've caused some damage, or this discussion or argument has caused some damage. So if it's that bad, then and when you know it as well, when you're in a relationship and you're constantly just thinking about getting out or convincing yourself, okay, let's just give it this chance, because you don't want to sever anything with, and you want to give it another chance, and the same thing keeps happening. Yeah. Then you're like, innit, that actually you're just staying in it because you don't want to pull the plug,
which is hard, right? Like, I mean, think to our parents' generation, how many women stuck it out? How many, bro?
Yeah.
And just kind of
100%.
had to just get on with it, because they were like, I'm not gonna, for the sake of the kids, for the sake of the family, for the sake of appearances, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna just gonna grit my teeth and bear it and get on with it. And it's more women than men, because men have fucking done it, bro. Like, in our family, it's happened, bro. Like, there's been divorces in my dad's generation. No, there's probably people that say, oh yeah, this and that, the other, but the men have felt like it's been socially acceptable to do that or initiate it. I don't think the women have ever had have been empowered to do that, and
because that's it. Empowered. That is the word. They've not been empowered. No one said to them, you know what? It's okay if it doesn't work out. Yeah, you can. Actually, I know someone and the women who have, and then they've never remarried, etc. After, in that generation, our parents' generation, hats off to them, because they did it at a time where
bro, that is strength, bro. That's basically a big, because you're saying a big fuck you to everyone, bro. Because you're like, no, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me.
I'm taking care of myself. Yeah, back then it probably looked a bit selfish, but sometimes you have to be selfish for yourself. It's for yourself.
Your life, bro. I mean, when you're bringing kids into it, I think it complicates matters. But again, the kids will be affected. The kids will eventually be affected by it if you do not take action, because you're going to be miserable. Your partner's going to be miserable. The environment's going to be miserable, and it's not going to be great.
You know what? Exactly that. And you know how we always say that decision you make let's see how it impact. You won't know the true effects of it a few years down the line. But actually, if you don't do it, then are you saying to your kid when they get married they have to stay in an unhappy relationship?
Yeah. That's what you're proving. That's what you're proving by having that.
Whereas if the women who did walk away back in those days and they had kids, what they're showing them is, if your relationship was to end, you're going to be fine. I was fine, and I got you. You're going to be fine too, isn't it? Like, and the men as well, same thing.
Let me ask you a question.
Go on then.
Hypotheticals, yeah, because why not?
Yeah.
You're going through some shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm touching wood and everything, right? But you're going through some shit, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would you, if you're in this mindset that this person is in, would you be open for counseling, or would you be like, I don't want to bring a third party in. I don't want to have other people meddling into our marriage. I just want to make the decision myself.
I think there's hope, that it does need counseling. If it's gone past,
but no, just as a baseline, would you be open? Man. Would you be open to it?
Yeah. Defo. I think more open to it now than ever before, because it's a step, man. I would have, back in the day, I had this view, oh shit, man, they're in counseling. I'm talking about when I didn't understand what counseling was, or didn't understand what therapy was, etc. Right? When we had the notion that therapy is for crazy people, basically, who are sectioned up. Once I understood it, and actually it helps. So the people who were doing therapy back then, hats off, because again, what I mean, isn't it? They're taking the right, they understood it properly. So I would be. It's another step, man.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if there's if in this scenario from this person, if that's even an option on the table, because it's a marriage, right? You want to, and I asked you that question because before we got married, me and Guggen spoke about this, right? We were like, look, if it were to ever get to a point where we feel like things are on the rocks or we're struggling, would we be open to doing this? And I mean, I was down for that, because I've been similar to you, right? I've gone through this period of education, in my 20s and 30s, and I've had my own kind of journeys and stuff where I don't really have a problem in bringing a third party into my life or my shit to help me process and understand like what is going on here. Bruv, fucking, if you hear Michelle Obama's podcast, she talks at length about how much she wanted to divorce him and the fact that they had counseling. Bro, if there's any idealistic perfect family that looks like perfect from the outside, it's them. And if they're telling you they have had to fix their broken house, so I don't know. It's difficult to fucking cast a judgment on this point, because I could argue both ways on this. I could be like, well, if you can find ways to salvage it, for the sake of the kids, for the sake of, the things that have been listed, fine. But also, if you are done, don't stay, and don't let all of these other factors be like, barriers for you doing something that should actually be a benefit. I know people who have had divorces, like in our generation, and remarried, and are better for it, better lifestyle. We're not great situations.
Mate, you get we live in a life where we get do-overs, right? There are such thing as do-overs, whether it's with someone else or on your own. There is more, it's not done and dusted on marriage. There's this perception of perfection. You go life with one. Do you understand what I mean?
It's fucking Bollywood, bruv. It's Bollywood, man. I blame Bollywood. I blame Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol, bruv. I'm telling you, man.
It's okay for
it comes from there. Don't you think it comes from there? Don't you think it comes from watching all of that shit, listening to all of those songs, all of that? Just
100%.
Ideal person, you fall in love, you have babies, you have a perfect life, you drive away into the thing.
Well, obviously it comes from there, because when you look at, like, the English folk, how they live,
EastEnders.
They watch EastEnders. And then you got Sharon with Phil,
with Grant. No, she was with Grant. Wait, she was with Grant first, then Phil, right?
Grant, and then Phil.
They're back to Phil.
Yeah, they got Ian with, I don't know, man.
Cindy.
Then he's with, like, I forgot the other lady's name.
The chippy lady. Bruv, you know what? Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. Completely. You brought up Phil Mitchell, so I need to fucking talk about Phil Mitchell. Bruv.
Yeah.
Phil Mitchell's body count is insane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What, in EastEnders? It's insane.
If you count the amount of women this man has been through, bruv, it is fucking ridiculous.
No. Every woman that's cast, it feels like they have some kind of thing with Phil Mitchell. Yeah, but you're going back. It's true, isn't it? Like, that's where it comes from. It comes from TV, man.
It comes from all of that, bro. But
it's always how you make your parents look.
Yeah. So we don't have an answer, but
No, I think we do have.
Do we have an answer?
And it's not definitive. Yeah. It's not a definitive thing. I think it's a case of, like you said, isn't it? If it's that bad and you're fantasizing about just leaving and it's done,
there's no option left.
Exactly.
But know the consequences and understand the consequences and come to terms with what that is going to mean for your life, right? Like, because it is going to change, and single parenting obviously is hard work, right? But if that is going to put you in a better mindset and actually going to, in the long run, be better for your overall well-being, then that is the decision. But you just got to go into everything with your eyes open, man, and the consequences.
And at the same time, like you said, if therapy and counseling, etc., is going to help, and talking it out more, and if that's, and also from a personal perspective, without thinking about the kids at this stage, but can you imagine your life without that person? Because if you get to, when you imagine something without someone, you're like, and that gives that the fear, or not the fear, but it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel natural, and doesn't, then you're still attached to that relationship. If you're like, oh no, I'm done. Like, I can. Do you understand what I mean? Innit? It's for my kids. I need to. Then, yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it might not be as simple as that, and I'm sure there's certain aspects that we're missing as well. Because, like we said, we're not experts on this, man, and none of us have been through this. We don't have to go through it either. But yeah, do you know what? Actually, Gary Lineker made I don't know, I'm quoting Gary Lineker yet, but he made a good point. So he he got married again, right? To the model, I forgot what her name was. What was her name? Danielle.
I don't remember the name, bro.
Yeah. So check this. He was, I don't know if it was on his podcast or when he was talking about it, but he was saying he got divorced the first time around and it was messy and it took it cost him a bomb. Yeah. And it cost both of them a bomb. And the only winners really are the people in the middle.
Lawyers.
Solicitors, lawyers, and then when his relationship fizzled out with his second wife, he goes, it was strange. We came to a mutual agreement that this is fizzled out, and it was very, very amicable. Like he goes to the point where we agreed we do not want to get lawyers in. We want to be amicable. We've just come to a natural end. He goes, we actually, like, how I'm sitting here with the computer in front of me, and sometimes your wife peers over your head and you're searching together. We searched how to divorce each other together ourselves.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it cost us nothing. Yeah. Like, do you understand? Yeah. And he goes, that's the way it should be done, because at the end of the day, yeah, whatever there is, people, do you understand, from a financial perspective, it's only the sharks in the middle that are going to.
Yeah, but bruv, that's the grounds of the divorce are different there, isn't it? He wasn't caught shagging, Sharon from EastEnders. Like, he was.
Yeah, true.
If that is the case, then then it's a completely different dynamic, and you want to fuck him over because he's hurt you, and. But it's an ideal thing to aspire towards. I mean, another case in point is Maya Jama and Stormzy, bro. They did the same thing. They had a fucking Instagram post, bro, where they announced that they're separating, right? They're no longer together, and very similar, very similar.
But the first time around?
No, the second time they've broken up.
Oh shit! I had
breaking
no idea,
news, man. If you don't know, now you know.
Raj is on it.
This is news from the south, isn't it, bro? We're like the reporters from the ends.
Oh shit.
All right. So we're gonna get into the next question. Similar theme. Go on.
Should we just cut this one clean and say, look, we hope it works out for the best, and whatever decision the person makes.
I'm trying to go into the next because I'm tired, bro.
Oh my bad. I'm doing what you do, innit? No, we do hope. Look, for the person who shared the first question, whether it's a man or a woman, we hope it works out for the best, and they make the right decision. Taking on board, all the networks and all the people in their lives that they can lean on before they make any, rash or drastic decisions. But hopefully, whatever decision they do make makes their life a better place for everyone in their family.
I second that. I think it's keeping calm, cool, collected. But never make a big decision when you're emotional. Never make any decision when you're emotional, bro. Like you're fucking hungry and you're angry, bro. Don't go. You're gonna just end up at KFC, man. You're gonna be unhappy, bro. It's true, bro.
Well, I did that today.
How is it?
It happened to me after IKEA.
Oh, bro.
So what do you want to eat, man?
Anything. I don't want fried food, salty food, fatty food, acidic food.
Yeah.
Bro, you messaged me saying I'm in IKEA. What did I message you back saying?
Yeah, good luck. All right, moving on.
Okay. Hi guys, absolutely love hearing your podcast. I sometimes share some of the reels with my mom and dad, and we have a good laugh. Bro, there are a lot of people sharing sharing us to their parents. Hello, mabaps. Apologies for all of the Guzio language, bro. I've never heard a more relatable podcast for British Asians of my generation. The references are bang on. Thank you. As for me, I'm a single dad who moved back in with my folks after my divorce and managed to become the main carer of my kids, plural. My family have been absolutely wonderful and supportive. I still feel divorce is a bit of a frowned upon subject in our community. Is great younger generation are more likely to talk about it, but the older generation at large still brush it under the carpet, and you can tell some extended family members and people in the community will often chat shit behind your back, like, "Hi, કેટલું ખરાબ છે? આખી જિંદગી કેવી જાશે? પત્ની કેવી રીતે મળશે?" Like that, innit? A little bit of it. This guy's profesh, bro. This guy's using.
Oh, I thought that was you putting it.
No, it says Patni Kevidi Trama. It's written like proper, authentic.
Fair play.
You can tell these folks have basically written you off and use you as a reference point. Don't make the same mistake of this guy. Bicharo, barbad take you, etc. Might be worth a mention for the single dad, brovs. I also used to feel embarrassed about it, but hey ho, life goes on, and you focus on the most important thing, which is raising your kids and moving past the stigma. Feel free to discuss and make light of the criticism. So
yeah, should we peel this one by one?
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, yeah, I think fair play first off, man. Like
for saying that it's a very relatable podcast. Thank you. We try very hard, and we appreciate the feedback. Now to your actual feedback. A single dad who moved with my folks after my divorce and managed to become main care of my kids. And my family have been wonderful and supportive. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's it, man. I think fair play for also like being the care of the kids. And do you know what? Automatically, because he's probably him and his wife or ex-wife have agreed that he would be the care of the kids. It's like, people are going to talk regardless. Whether you're married 100%. And happily married or not, they're going to talk regardless. Yeah, right here, I bet you, it's like, oh, yeah, like he said in the post that his life's over because he's now raising 2 kids. What, doesn't she want to be a mother? And
they'll be talking shit about both of them. Yeah,
exactly. So it's like, actually, whatever agreement the person's come to, you don't even care because you're just going to think they're lying about it and they're just trying to save face. So you're going to have your own intuitions and your own stories because the truth sometimes isn't it doesn't live up to the hype, innit? The truth sometimes doesn't live up to the hype for someone to spread it. Does that make sense?
It's better to live in the fantastical, bro. It's like, oh, let's sensationalize this. Exactly. Bro, where else is Gomla and guy that you're going to talk about, bro? They need something, innit?
Yeah, exactly. So I think definitely from that perspective, people are going to talk regardless, and fair play, innit? He's taking care. He's doing what he has to do, innit? As long as you focus on that. At the end of the day, when people try to distract you with all their comments, and then you're taking whatever they say as gospel and to heart, you lose focus on what you're actually meant to be doing, like taking care of your kids. And do you understand what I mean? Because you're trying to fight those
hard though,
innit,
bro?
Like that.
It's hard, man.
Yeah,
like, bro,
because you don't want. You're trying to protect the kids.
That's your
priority. And if they're over here,
that's your priority, man.
Go on.
I mean, it's great. Younger generation are more likely to talk about it. I don't know if they are, bruv. I think some of them are. Some of them still have that inherited mannerism, or well, not mannerism, inherited kind of like perspectives of it. That it's. Do you think that it's because there's this perception that divorce is failure?
Yeah. You know why? I'll tell you why. Even I'm like someone. Do you know our generation, when they get divorced, they feel like they are obliged to tell people and explain. Do you ever get that? Do you ever feel that?
Yeah.
I don't think they need to explain anything. I don't think, because, and also it's the reactions that we're conditioned with, because you're like, the person that they're explaining to, how do you react? Do you react with commiserations because that's what you've been conditioned to react with? Or do you react with, as you don't want to just brush it off, because your life's all great and you're not in that boat right now, and you want to say, look, as long as you're happy, that's it. Do you understand what I mean? Because sometimes what happens is when you're too downbeat about it, as when you're receiving that news for that person, but actually they're like, no, it's a good thing. I'm much happier. She's happier. The kids are coming to terms with it, because it's a change for the kids at the end, isn't it? They're coming to terms with it, and they'll come to terms with it at the end of the day, right? And it will become normality again. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
I think if you're receiving that kind of news, the way I would try and approach it is from a perspective of compassion, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's, you can't really cast judgment on it. You need to just,
Yeah.
you're just there to understand, man. Understand how is this person doing, what they're going through. It's hard though. Like, it's hard to sometimes not
But
have an opinion,
yeah.
right? Even
Yeah.
if this person is in a shit situation, or even if you feel like this person actually might be at fault. But if someone is coming to you with that kind of thing, you should just be all ears, man. So like,
Yeah. But I just want to add something on that. You know, you said you're all ears, but I'm saying that's you, the mature you now. But if someone said that to you in your earlier years, because of the
oh yeah,
way
bro.
our parents
Yeah,
react
they'll
to
be like,
things
what,
like
what,
that,
why,
in your
why, what
head, you're like,
happened? What happened?
why?
What's wrong? Like, are you okay? Like,
Do you
yeah,
understand?
because you're automatically going in with you failed.
Yeah.
It's broken. Why did it break?
Yeah.
Whereas now it's more about, okay, how do you feel about it? I mean, you got to go into like therapist mode, because it's not about, like, that conditioning. But this whole chatting shit behind your back, bro. That's never gonna change. That's never gonna change, bro.
Never
People
gonna
still
change.
chat shit behind people's backs.
Yeah.
That's happened before. Aunties and uncles were doing that. But they've written you off and they see you as a reference point. But yeah, that sucks, man. Like, having even having that feeling that someone's written you off isn't nice.
I think that's the main thing, isn't it? Because they're making you feel, they're not looking past everything and saying, do you
That's all they
understand?
see. They
They're
see
just looking
the
at
big D, bro. That's it. They do not look
divorce,
past the divorce. They look at
broken.
the divorce and they're like, okay, this is a failure. This person's failed.
Yeah.
And, oh, what's going to happen to him? What's going to happen to his kids? What's going to happen to her? Oh God, what a mess.
Also, no one will want him. He can only
Yeah,
now marry people,
yeah,
other
yeah,
divorcees with
yeah.
kids.
It's like, what
Yeah,
the fuck
because
is
no
your
other.
issue, man? That's like, why are you codding in every, bro? You know what it is? It's these ones. There's so much jig and juggler going on that their fucking own nose, bro. Yeah, but they're so interested in everyone else's business, bro.
It is true, and you know the ones who you get matchmakers,
Yeah,
in it,
yeah,
in every family, that, oh, he's divorced and he's got kids, and it's like, oh, I know someone who's
yeah.
divorced and got kids. Wait, hold on. They make you believe
That's
that's your
yeah.
path now.
That's like it's Lego.
Yeah, it's not Lego. Exactly that. But they don't realize, actually, no, the person's not out. He basically, they're looking at it from this perspective. The elders and people who chat shit are looking at it from the perspective of, no one will want to have have that person's kids and be a mother to them, right? But actually, maybe he's not looking for a mother for his kids because they've got that
Yeah,
already.
maybe,
They may, do you
yeah.
understand? But he's looking for someone for
He wants
himself,
companionship.
that he
Yeah.
gives companionship. So, and that's the thing, isn't it? There's no maturity in our parents' generation from that perspective,
Do you think
or
all
even
of them are
before that
like
generation.
that? The entire generation?
No. I think there's so many people out there who've not, who've either experienced divorce, but also haven't, but they just they've grown with the ways, with the changes
Yeah,
of the
I mean,
world.
it
I
sounds
think,
like this guy's parents have, right? There.
exactly, they're supportive. I think as long as you've got a support network, whether it's your family or friends or whatever, you can. I think at the start it's rough because it's a whole change in dynamic, because
It's
you think about it, you're
unpredictable. It's
working,
unpredictable.
you're unpredictable. You move back into an environment with your parents where you probably haven't lived there for a long time,
Yeah.
yeah, but they're supportive, which is great. Sometimes they might not be, or sometimes, but at the same time, the kids, it's a change of environment for the kids, and it's like, oh, now they're sharing. There's shared custody of the kids, on weekends, etc. Right, so that's a change. But everything, as humans, we adapt, right, and things get better as time goes along, as you move into new routines, and actually, that person might get to know his kids better and might parent them better than what he. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
In it, because you're one of you, so you've got to have more. You've got to have the patience of two parents. There's only one of you, so you have to have the patience of two parents to manage them. And I don't know, you pull more weight and get closer to them at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, the trajectory of your life has changed in a way that you didn't plan, right? You don't plan this. When you're getting married, bruv, you're not thinking about this. It's not even a thought. You're just like, this is the person. Head over heels, I want to be with this person. But it doesn't work out for whatever reason. And, you know, you have children, then it's an adjustment, bruv. It's just, but having this extra noise, right? It makes it harder, bruv. It definitely makes it harder. I wonder if this guy's parents, what kind of shit they've had to deal with. Because you know what? Normally, this is like samachar. That's what it is, bruv. Samachar. And 100% they would have got calls. They would have got calls from Kishan Lal, bruv, yeah? You're like, Suthu, what happened? Why? Why did it happen? Fucking questions, bruv. And I'm curious to understand, like, you know, how did they respond to that? Right? They could be the most supportive people in the world, but the community isn't. The community's, you know, vultures. Yeah. I mean, they're just trying to figure out what happened. I want to know. So they can tell. I can tell. Harilal, bruv, and Harilal will tell Ratilal, bruv.
You know why though? And also, you know, Harilal and Ratilal aren't happy in their marriage. Yeah, they're fucking. You know? But
they're Nagra themselves, bruv. This is what it is, man. I do feel like that, bruv. I feel like those that do this, that get involved in this level of gossip and are this interested in other people's life, often have no self-satisfaction in anything else. They have no hobbies. They have nothing that can kind of fulfill them in any way. So this gives them something to entertain themselves. And I think part of this is the fucking cereals, bruv, as well. If Bollywood set us up for the happy life, cereals set us up for the fucking psycho sassals, bruv.
Yeah, bruv. Yeah, they mold, innit? They start. You know how we watch football and we're like, I want to do that skill next week. Yeah? They do, bruv. There's mother-in-laws doing next skills on their daughter-in-laws at home, bruv.
Based on that. Tactics. They get the whiteboard out.
Yeah. I'm going to see if she washes her own dish today. And then I'm going to get on the phone to my friend. Oh, she didn't wash her own dish.
That's what Sil was saying, though. That's what Sil was saying when we did our mother-in-law, daughter-in-law episode. It's like they all have a conference and they're comparing their daughter-in-laws against one another.
Well-trained and who's not well-trained, isn't it?
All that shit. At the end of the day, bruv, the talk is going to be there. It's how much you want to pay attention to it. And sometimes, bruv, you're projecting the talk that you think is going to be there, even though they may not be talk at all, right? Because you've been conditioned that this is what's going on. So,
you know what it is? You need to. It feels like, you know, when something like this happens, you feel like you have to. You know how paparazzi attack, like, so you just said Stormzy and Mind broke up, right? So there's going to be paparazzi even more than usual, and that story's now got to run its course through the rumor mill. Someone else takes the mantle, and someone else does something stupid, Do you understand? As in, not that was stupid. I'm just saying, it's something, other things that take the headlines or whatever. It's like this in our community. You know, you can't just stay in, you know, next time you go to a function or something where the news is broken, or, you know, that this person's, you know, separated from their other half. It's like you have to make these public appearances, and you think that all these eyes are on you. You can feel it, bro. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And everyone is in and around you acting weird, bro. Do you understand? They're like, should I ask him? Should I not? Should I ask her, you know, how the divorce is? Or, you know what I mean? Why it happened, or this? What? Why? They're still a human, isn't it? At the end of the day, they're still, you know, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. It's just stupid, man. Like you said, a lot of stuff comes from all these serials and things like that. It is what it is. As long as the person's happy, they made the decision for their happiness, for their own sake.
They made the decision.
They didn't do it to make themselves worse off, did they? They did it for the better.
I mean, I think that's what it is, right? Like you're not doing this knowingly thinking that this is the wrong decision. You're doing this because you actually feel that this is the right decision. This is the right thing for you to move forward with your life, for the right thing for the family and all the rest of it. And it's your life, man. It's weird though. It's weird because it's your life, but there's spectators all the way through it, and some of those spectators may play a role in it. Some of them may just sit on the sidelines and watch and point. But ultimately, you're the one that's gonna have to fucking go through the motions, man.
Even after 50 years of marriage, yeah, it doesn't mean it's gonna last another 10. Does that?
No.
Yeah.
It's not, bruv. It's not.
And also, that's the thing. You know this thing about perfection. So, like you just mentioned it, Indians think that we are Lego. Yeah, that generation.
Yeah, it's Lego, bro. It's Lego, man.
because, like I said, oh, you're divorced. Okay, you're single, but you're divorced. So we have to find you a divorcee, preferably without children, because you haven't got any kids of your own. So that's that. Basically, you can't put. As you understand? It's like putting square pegs in round hole. It's like the complete. It's just stupidity, and it's like, oh, he's divorced with 2 kids.
Oh, so then wait, won't work with this one kid then? No, you need double met to it, bro. Nah.
Also, you know what it is? I've heard this. Yeah, my own parents have done this. Yeah, you know when they're, it's like when they're like when someone asks, oh. Someone will phone them and say, do you know someone? I've got this person here, divorced with 2 kids. And they're like, oh, yeah, may know someone. Yeah. And then they phoned out the party who might be interested.
Might be what? Yeah, might be interested. What? So that means they're on the rocks.
Might be interested. Yeah, because I'll say how it's going to be. Yeah. They'll be like, yeah, they'll go through all the positives, but he's got 2 kids. Do you understand what I mean?
No, I don't understand what you mean, because you know what I thought?
It's like a negative. It's like you go through all the positives.
You know what I thought you said? Yeah? I thought you said that there's a situation where someone has called up your parents and has been like, oh yeah, we're looking for someone, right? He's got divorced and 2 kids. And then your parents are calling someone up whose son is married right now, but on the rocks.
Oh no, bro! Nah, man, that's just that's another level, bro. They're not watching those levels of serials, bro.
That's Star Plus, bro. That's Star Plus HD.
That's premium. You got to pay for that kind of shit. Yeah, those skills. No, I'm saying like they might know someone who's single, right? Okay. And but they may not be in the game with 2 kids themselves, but so the positives are like, he does this for a living. He's good looking, blah, blah. Oh, but he has 2 kids. If you're, I don't know if that's something that. Do you understand what I mean? Like, it's like, why is that a markdown? Does that make sense? Yeah. At the end of the day, you're looking for it's just that generation. It's just the way they, explain things, the way they perceive life, the way they perceive the situation.
But why is that?
I fucking don't know, man.
There must be
I wish I knew the answer.
There must be a reason for it. Why?
Perfection. Where seem to be, like you said, the first question. Yeah, it's not. Rarely do you find, couples. There's some couples that are so comfortable that if they're arguing in the car on the way to something, they're still arguing at the function as well, and they're pissed off, and you can tell. And that's themselves. That's it. It works for them. It is what it is. But then there's the other one where it's like you've got to perceive perfection, perfect perfection, where it's like nothing. You're happy, whereas you can just be yourselves and be like, look, and not show off that show any issues where you're showing on your face that you had an argument, but just be normal in it as well. There's so many different layers, isn't it?
Depends on what works for the couple, though, isn't it?
You've got in the community, it's like you've got to be close to perfection. I just feel that. I don't know. That's my perception of it. Yeah. If you know how you get points on your license and you feel dirty. I don't know. Yeah, some people do. Yeah, it is what it is. Or you missed a late payment and your credit file has now got a little 1 for a late payment, because you've always been told credit is the most important thing in life. Yeah, without credit you can't do anything. Yeah. Well, if you got a divorce, it's the same kind of mark, isn't it? That the elders, that people in the community give you.
Yeah.
Twice. But people get divorced 2-3 times. It is what it is. They're happy. They're breathing. They're still alive, living life.
and
they're no different to anyone
for
else.
it, bruv.
Yeah,
Joe, imagine if divorce didn't exist in the modern day. Like, imagine if fucking Keir Starmer, whoever is going to come into the White House, turned around and said, it's now going to be illegal to get divorced.
Yeah.
And you have to stay. And all of the Maharajas and Pundits and rabbis and, you know, all the religious mans were like, yeah, nah. Divorce is, you're not allowed to divorce. What would happen in that situation?
Yeah, it's just I think there'd be less marriages, isn't it?
No, as in, like, if you're in a marriage and you're not, it's not working.
Oh, if you're in a marriage and they all said you're not allowed to get
divorced.
But no, when you're saying you're not allowed or you can't, that's it. This will be for life.
You
there will be no out.
There's no way out.
There's no way
out.
Yeah. I think I don't know, man. Sometimes you're only sure for that moment, innit? The euphoric of that moment. After that, you don't know, innit? A few years down the line, you're like, oh, damn, I made a mistake. You don't know what's going to change in your life 10 years down the line to make you think whether that person's still the person. Because you grow, innit? Yeah. So I think there'll be so many people, some people are so like from a commitment perspective, they've got commitment phobia and they can't commit. They won't get married. They'll be like, no, this is not the person. I don't know. I don't want to
step into it.
For now, yeah. But if I can't step into knowing that it's going to be, forever. There's no out.
Yeah. I think we'd see a lot of, I think we'd see a lot of people doing like self-harm and stuff.
Yeah, true.
Because you're just in a situation where you have no out. You're in a miserable situation. Maybe there's abuse, right? And it could be both ways, right? Like, we're not saying men are always guilty, right? It could be the other way. Anyone, men suffer abuse just as much. Well, not just as much, but they do suffer abuse, right? As do women. And I think that people will just start to take their matters into their own hands in that. And the reason I'm asking you this question is because in our parents' generation, it was probably like that. And I've definitely heard stories that my parents say where there's been suicides in families and stuff now. And it is because and it's common knowledge that it was.
They've got no support as well because they know there's nowhere for them to run. Their own family won't
support them. They're stuck in a situation where there's no way out, and it's tragic, bruv. So.
Can I actually say something? You touched on something there. It's funny, isn't it? Right now, there is divorce and it's possible. So if someone's son or daughter wasn't happy and I don't know, that it was an abusive relationship or whatever, people expect you to stick it out, even though there is divorce because they want to save face. Yeah. But if you tell those same people that there is no out, and that your daughter or your son's going to have to stay in this abusive relationship or this relationship which is so toxic and about it, would those same people who wish that there was such thing as divorce so they could get them out?
Because now right, that you can't. Yeah.
You take a little something away and it's like, okay, the whole dynamic and your thought process changes completely.
Yeah. It's a valid one, man. This was a steamy one, bro.
Was there a question on the?
There wasn't a question. It was more about. Might be worth a mention for the single dads. I used to feel embarrassed about it, but hey ho, life goes on. You have to focus on the most important thing, which is raising your kids and moving past the stigma, which is. Yeah. I mean, I think that's good advice from what we were discussing earlier, right? Moving past the stigma, if indeed that is what the right, decision is.
It's jokes, isn't it? The people who, like, in his situation where he was saying that he's got people around him, some obviously a lot of support people, but then there's some people who talk as well. Yeah, it's funny. They're there to throw salt, but they ain't there to help man raise his kids. They're not going to raise you. So you know what I mean? It's like, do you understand? So you might as well just focus on what you can and block out all that noise as hard as it's easier said than done, because words hurt. And if you're trying to protect not just the two ears between your head, that your head are in between, but your your kids, from hearing it as well, isn't it? Because the impact it has on them is more detrimental because they're still trying to process things and understand life and what people like. Because from their perspective, they might be so young that everyone is good in their eyes, and there's no malice in what they say.
It's true.
And adults speak the truth and nothing else.
I think you're right, man. I think that's us, bruv. Do you feel like there's more you wanted to talk about here?
No. I think it's cash, isn't it? I mean, like I said, we're not experts, and we
are not experts. Any of the topics that we've mentioned here are our own opinions, and my 3 years in marriage as a toddler, and your 10 years doing your SATs. You haven't even gone to fucking high school yet.
It's 15, man. Why are you doing my...
What, 15? Oh, shit, it's 15 years. Sorry, bro. Okay, so but you still haven't finished the GCSEs. You're choosing your subjects.
Exactly, my options.
I'm fucking hell, bro.
My 2 options that I'm going to do.
Double science.
Should do further maths.
You can't do further maths. Can you do further maths as GCSE now? I thought that was A-level. What did you do at A-levels, GCSEs?
I did.
No, really, not what you fucking have on your CV, which is a copy of my CV.
Photography, man. I did
really?
Photography. Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've only saw your qualifications because they're my qualifications because you have my CV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my photography skills weren't good, man.
What other subject did you choose?
I cannot remember. I cannot remember for the life of me, bro.
Science? Double science?
Nah.
Journalism?
It wasn't double science. Oh, no, it might have been double science. I think it was double science. Do you know, I'm going to find out. I found my NRA upstairs, isn't it?
Bro. Let me know. Send me your grades as well, yeah?
Yeah. You should correct mine, innit?
You should.
I still got the D from Gujarati that you got. Bob, why couldn't you work harder so we got a
C?
C?
Bro. I was so bad. I messed up because I didn't know how to say plane. Viman, innit? Viman, bro. I'll never forget that shit now. After Kusum corrected me, bro. But she just shook her head, man. She was so disappointed. Like, this fucking idiot, man. Aeroplane. That's what I said.
Hawaii jazz, isn't it? Hawaii jazz.
There's no Hawaii. All my Hawaii jad, bro. Well, thank you to our 2 listeners who wrote in and shared your struggles. Hopefully there was something in there which is what you expected when you sent that in. Thank you for all those others that are sending in questions, feedback, comments. We are trying to get through everything. We've got so many things to get through, and it's just kind of like trying to pick the ones that fitting at the time for us. Do you have any shout-outs, Mick? No.
I've got no shout-outs, man. I've got we shout out Nisha, innit? We shouted out Nisha last time, didn't we? But we'll shout out Nisha because she sent us a nice message.
Oh yeah,
which we listened to.
Nisha. Shout out to Nisha
and everyone who's listening. But are we gonna? And also, thank you to we've hit 5,000.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah.
Instagram.
Thank you. That's a big deal, bro.
Just want to say, yeah, massive deal, man, massive. So thank you to everyone that's following us, but also just the listeners and all the subscribers, etc. For making this happen because it's a massive feat for us and it means a hell of a lot.
We appreciate you all, and please continue to share the struggle, find the funny, and we will see you later, people. Bye.
Peace. Bye.
All right, bruv. We're gonna leave a recording in it just in case you have some final words of wisdoms.
Bro, you know what? What I was gonna say. I was like, I don't know what I was gonna say, but it's just those 2 topics are mad, isn't it?
Fucking hard. It was a hard conversation, bro. I don't think I've spoken to you about this ever, like on this level.
Nah. I think also you never know, innit? And touch wood, like we said, but we don't know where we find ourselves, innit? In the next whenever, innit? It's true though, innit? At the end of the day, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have mad arguments with Nish, about things. But I think now that we've gone 15 years, doesn't mean that it was never going to happen. But at the same time, you know how to diffuse a situation very quickly, or you know how to ride it out, and you know when you've
I think, bruv,
you don't get that feeling that, oh god, this argument's so bad, this could be it. I've never had that basically feeling, and I'm sure she hasn't, because you project that, don't you, at the end of the day, right? But sometimes I think there's so many storms. You're dealing with a storm from work or from all your personal stuff, etc., right? That you don't know how much that is weighing on you, and sometimes you might think, oh, is it best to just call it quits, isn't it? Does that make sense, isn't it?
But I think that's what it's important that you said that, because sometimes, I mean, it's kind of like, if you're in an emotional state, don't make decisions. Even if you're overwhelmed, don't make decisions, because you can't think fucking clearly, bruv. If your ass is being like fucking handed to you at work, kids are going crazy, and there's shit going on in your home, there's shit going on with your parents, there's illness in the family, like, bruv, modern day life is fucking hard, bruv. Like, there's people going through so much shit, people dealing with so many things, and marriage inside that is one of these pieces that should be weathering the storms, but may also be pushed to the test, maybe also be pushed to the limit, because when you're absolutely fed up or super frustrated, sometimes it's a partner that feels the wrath of it, man. Like, because they're the one that's always there, right? And which is rightly so. Like, you should be there to help your partner
also
things.
Exactly that, and like you said, that will, and also, like, when things are going right, or you only have you noticed, as humans, we only look at what's going wrong,
always,
but you don't really take
it's negative. I mean,
you've actually got so much going right.
Psychologically, it's known as the negativity bias, bro.
And you don't take the wins that you've got going on and be like, okay, but it's the end of the world because those three things are going wrong at the moment. But you don't see that if you don't fight those three things and overcome that, then you're going to lose what's a bigger thing of what you worked like. And I say bigger thing, I mean, like, I'll go back to my OCD about making the bed. Yeah,
obviously, bro. But like, it's been 10 episodes, so you might as well fucking go back.
I drop in on lit. Oh, fair enough. My bed is me. Yeah, is just I don't care, bro. She can have it. She can, ring me out when she has an episode. Go good, isn't it? Yeah. But when I drop in on Leanna's room and I see sick, it's nicely made up, I always make sure I tell her, innit? Well done, Leanna. You've done really well with your bed today. Well done. I know. Well, if it hasn't been done, but Lima, what happened today? You didn't make your bed. She goes, yeah, Daddy, sorry. I said, no, don't apologize. I'm just saying you didn't make your bed. What happened? She goes, oh, I just didn't want to do it. I was like, it's fine. Yeah. So, but we know. Where when I drop in the other room, yeah, it's like she's trying to send a message, bro. So do you understand? Like, I'm gonna mess this up even more. I'm gonna throw some clothes around, and like, actually, that may be not going right, but something's going right, or like someone's, if Leanna's struggling with one part of her homework, but actually when it comes to her spelling, she's doing really good. It's just one thing after, or I don't know, man, like. Right now I don't cook as much, and I need to get better at that. But maybe I'm doing something else right, which Nish sees, and vice versa.
Bro,
does that make sense?
We're all work in progress, man. And the problem is when you're caught in a negative spiral, everything's negative, bro. And that's the problem. And you can't see the positive, and that makes it harder to make decisions and kind of.
Actually, let me ask you something. 1 year now. 1 year, how much growth and how much change have you seen in yourself?
I feel like there's growth wise, for sure, bro. Changes everything. Change my whole outlook. You're more ruthless with your prioritization. You give less fucks about things that aren't important.
Do you also feel that people around you, the ones that you're day ones, whatever it is, even if it's negative, they'll understand. When you're more ruthless, they'll just get over it. They'll understand when you're
100%. They just
because that's the whole point of the relationship, right?
Yeah, you do see that, because you have to be. You've got to prioritize the child, man. You've got to prioritize dependent. But yeah, bro, I think there's been so many changes, bro. in that 1 year. And I feel like
1 year in it.
Yeah, it's 1 year, bro. But it's 1 year where your life is turned upside down.
It's a drastic change, isn't it? And you don't even, I bet you've adapted to it and you don't even realize you're doing it.
You don't realize. You only realize when
you probably feel like,
you only realize if you see yourself a year ago, what you were doing or how you were behaving or how you were acting. And then you're like, oh, now you're like, oh, hold on.
Yeah. And you don't even realize how much you're doing in that, how much you've achieved in that year.
Yeah.
Of first becoming a dad, isn't it? Because if you look back to a date before that happened, your life was completely different, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's mad. I was just thinking about it today, actually, and I was like, I realized, obviously, I was like, think about how much change you've gone through in a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, how much? If UNG is mad, isn't it?
Crazy, bro.
That wasn't the question, was that? Did we deviate from what you were saying?
I don't know, bro, but it is what it is. All right, I'm going to stop the recording.
Cool.